Alright. Let's get into it. This was right after Armura told us that Kunosato wants us to die. I hope it isn't I hope finding out who the new gen killer is isn't as simple as just like... What's the word? Isn't as simple as just Akechi pulling a gun on you. After the meeting, the newspaper club ended. I bought a mountain view at the vending machine in the cafeteria and sat down on a nearby bench. I've been thinking so much that I was exhausted. I opened the plastic bottle and gulped down the bubbling carbonation inside. Damn, that's a good looking background.
またそれ飲んでるのかよ。お前ほんと好きだな。
You're drinking that stuff again? You really do seem to like it. I believe, okay, so in robotics notes, we had... It was, Scal, I'm pretty sure. Stein? I feel like Chaos Head probably had a drink that Takumi... I think it was, like, something based on cola. I don't know if Steins Gate had one. Yeah, I don't know. I might have. Ito bought a can of black coffee and sat down on the bench with me.
You
know, that really surprised me back there. For good reason. Oh, I thought he was talking about what, you know. Well, I'm still surprised myself. I was really impressed. It was pretty cool. Stop it. I don't exactly want to hear that from another guy. Damn. We're homophobia in this ass. That's something the heroine says to the male lead in a romantic comedy. Male loneliness epidemic. And then the hero falls in love with them, maybe. No way. Series of faces flitted through my mind. Sarika with her dopey laugh, the ever-angry Karusu, Kazuki playing Yasoto and Arumura with her acid tongue. But I couldn't imagine starting a romance with any of them. Arumura doesn't have an acid tongue. Well, I guess she's... I mean, it's not like she says it with malice. She just drops truth bombs that you aren't exactly expecting to hear. Inappropriately timed truth bombs. Oh, come on. I was just trying to say something nice to you. Ito threw the empty can at the garbage bin. Telekinesis. Ah, that's a good one. I've seen a preschooler do better. The garbage can had a lid and only a small hole to throw the cans in. Of course, there's no way he could get it inside.
Nana.
Hey, can you do it again?
What?
Or did he miss? Yeah, he did. Do what again? Your power, dude. Until looked around the cafeteria as he spoke, making sure no one was too close to overhear him. Come to think about it, his power requires other people to see and mutually recognize, right? So when he was putting the piece of paper into the trash can in the previous whatever, he couldn't have done that unless someone was looking. But he was trying to do it with no one seeing it, which is probably why it didn't work. Ito looked around the cafeteria as he spoke, making sure no one was too close to overhear him. What? Why? Was this why he threw the can? Interesting. Fortunately, it was after school and the cafeteria was just about to close, so there weren't many people in the room. Is this even worth delusion triggering over? Also, I need to start conserving my save slots if I want to have enough for alt playthroughs. I can just save over this or something. Fortunately, it was after school. Yeah, I already read that. There were only a few groups of people who were probably chatting about nothing important, and a few boys and girls intently reading their books. Nobody was paying attention to us. I don't think anyone would see me and make a fuss, but...
お前ってどのくらいのものが動かせるんだ？重さとか大きさとか数とか。
So how does your power work exactly? Is there a limit on how much weight, how big an object, or how many things you can move?
その辺はまだテストしてないな。
I haven't tested that.
じゃあ狙いは正確なのか？ターゲット以外のものが動いちゃったりしないのか？
Then can you aim precisely? Do you ever move things other than what you mean to?
それもまだ。
I haven't tested that yet either. Had a good point. It would be a good idea to test those things out. What should I do? No, now wasn't a good time. I still wasn't used to it and I was already exhausted. The idea of trying to focus even more didn't appeal to me.
今日はダメだ。また今度にしよう。
I'm not feeling up to it today. We can do it some other time. I leaned back on the bench and swallowed my mountain view.
なんだよ、ケチだな。
Don't be such a stingy asshole.
ケチとかそういう問題じゃないんだって。
Seriously, I'm not trying to be stingy or anything. But it did seem like I'd need to test the limits of my power eventually, like Ito had said. I tossed a bottle of Mountain View into the garbage just like Ito had done a moment ago. Of course, it didn't even come close. It fell on the floor and started to roll. October 15th. So we got 8 more days. The medical examiner system. A legal system that allows for a coroner, as well as a doctor approved by the region's governor, to perform an autopsy on a body that died under suspicious circumstances in order to determine the cause of death. Currently, the system is only in place in Yokohama, Nagoya, Osaka, Kobe, and the 23 wards of Tokyo. Many people believe that Japan lags behind the rest of the world for this reason, and while calls for the system's expansion are voiced every year, there are still no signs that any change will actually take place. The system allows for an examination, or in some cases an autopsy, to determine the cause of death in accidents or when a person has died from a disease or unknown cause. The work of the medical examiner is done as follows. In the event of an unusual death, the forensic officer first conducts an examination, which is followed by a death investigation from the medical examiner. The process of having a doctor determine the time and cause of a body's death. If the death is not ruled to be abnormal, a death certificate is created and the process ends there. However, if the death is ruled abnormal, the body is sent to be autopsied. If a cause of death can be determined, the body is then turned over to the family. If the death investigation fails to determine the cause of death, only then does the examiner conduct an autopsy. If it is judged that a crime was involved, a further, more expansive judicial autopsy is conducted, but such autopsy had already been performed on Watabe Tomoaki. It was extremely unusual for a second autopsy like this one to be performed.
どうだ？
Shinjo? Okay, well. Shinjo averted his eyes from the coroner's knife. He'd been to many judicial autopsies, but it was something he'd never gotten used to. He probably never would, he thought. As for the person standing next to the coroner, she was staring at the open skull without the slightest trace of disgust.
やはり肥大化の傾向が見られるな。
As I suspected, I'm seeing signs of enlargement. Oh, so it was a psychic delusional attack on his brain or whatever.
肥大化というと脳が
Enlargement of the brain? Do all gigglomaniacs have enlargement of the brain?
この状況で他に何がある？解凍された頭を見て内臓の肥大がわかるとでも言うのか？
What else? Do you think I could look at his skull and tell you if his internal organs had enlarged? Shinjo's shoulders slumped a little. When he first met her, he'd been unsure of how to handle her, but now he actually felt kind of worried for her. Didn't that get tiring after a while?
さっき聞いた話じゃ死因は間違いなく窒息死ということだったが
From what you said before, the cause of death was definitely suffocation.
窒息だけでこんな風にはならない。
Suffocation alone wouldn't be enough to do this to you.
ってことはこれまでの被害者と同じってわけか。脳の肥大の原因については
Which means that it's the same as the other victims, huh? Any ideas as to the cause?
何しろ検体が少なすぎる。果たしてこの症状が一連の被害者だけに見られるのか、それともギガロマニアックスに共通するものなのか。
We just don't have enough samples. The symptoms could be something unique to the victims or something all gigglomaniacs have in common. Should she be saying gigglomaniacs out loud in front of these three people? Or is she whispering it?
わからないか。
So you don't know.
知る方法ならあるにはあるがな。
There's a way to find out, though.
何
What?
あの二人、宮代拓と有村ひなえの頭を開いて調べればいい。そうすればこれがギガロマニアックスに共通する症状なのかどうかわかるだろう。
We can open up the skulls of Miyashiro Takeru and Arumura Hanae. That will tell us whether or not it's something that all gigglomaniacs have. Couldn't you also, like, weren't there other victims, new gen victims? Why isn't there going to be another? Well, I guess if your idea is to stop the murders, you'll want to wait till the 23rd, but if you're going to murder these people, then is see what I'm getting at?
バカなことを言うなよ。そんなことできるわけがないだろう。
Don't be stupid. We can't do that.
冗談だ。今は CT や MRI があるんだ。わざわざ脳をむき出しにする必要もない。
I'm joking. These days we got CRT and MRI scans. There's no need to chop open their skulls.
なんだ。私が冗談を言うのがそんなに意外か。
What? Is it so surprising that I would tell a joke?
いや
No. I mean, yeah, to be honest. Shinjo thought to himself that she probably hadn't been joking. He knew Kunosata Mio didn't like gigglomaniacs. She hated them from the bottom of her heart. He didn't know why she despised them so much, despite her being a gigglomaniac. Of course, there's probably a good reason for it, but you wish she would tone it down a bit. They probably didn't become gigglomaniacs by choice, and more than anything, he didn't want to lose their help with the case.
さてこれからどう捜査していったらいいんだろうな。
So that's the plan for the investigation now? If there were still test subjects under the hospital, there were things the police could do. But when he'd gone down there, there wasn't a trace of anything left.
証拠ならあるだろ。
We've got evidence that we need it though, right? Kunosata's voice was as cold as ever.
証拠
Evidence?
何のためにあの娘を連れ出したと思ってるんだ。知ってることを全部吐かせろ。
What do you think? Why do you think I brought that girl out there? Make her tell you everything she knows. Talking about Yamazoe.
相手は子供だぞ。
Come on, she's just a kid.
子供じゃない。危険なギガロマニアックスだ。
She's not just a kid, she's a dangerous gigglomaniac. Shinjo rubbed his temples, unsure of what to say. October 15th, time is counting down. Wait, is this the same day? Yeah, it's 8 days. Still Thursday. Frisia Credit Bureau. Momose Katsuko sat in a reception room in a messy corner of her office and sighed as she ran her hand through her hair. She's got them Sith eyes.
返してください。
Please let me go home.
私を返してください。
Please let me go home. No matter how many questions Momose asked her or how she tried to get Uki to talk, that was the only answer she would give. Sometimes she tried asking if there's anything she wanted or if she felt like eating anything. The answer was always the same.
お願いです。返してください。
Please let me go home. She hadn't made even the tiniest bit of progress since the girl had arrived. Even the endlessly patient Momose would want to sigh after all that. She still didn't know where this Yamazoe Uki girl's from or how she'd ended up in that hospital. But from what she'd seen, there was a chance she'd endured significant abuse, and then she was suddenly rescued from it and taken to a completely different environment, so she must have been very confused. She knew from experience that victims like that need to be treated very carefully.
私が早く帰らないと皆さんが困ってしまうんです。
If I don't get back quickly, everyone will have trouble. She kept repeating the same lines like a broken audio player. Momose was starting to think it was time for a different approach. She didn't know what would happen. She told the girl this, so she kept it a secret until now.
ちゃんと話して現実を認識させてあげた方がいいかもしれない。
But maybe I need to tell her, make her face reality. What? If you don't cooperate with us, we're gonna kill the people down there?
お願いです。私はあそこへ戻らないといけないんです。
Please, I need to go back there.
しょうがない。話してみようか。
I guess I don't have a choice. I'll try telling her. Well, she made a decision. She didn't spend any time on second thoughts. This is both an advantage and a disadvantage.
あのね、ウキちゃん。
Listen, Uki-chan.
はい。
Yes?
そこまで帰りたいというのなら教えてあげるわ。
But if you really want to go back that badly, I can tell you something.
返してくれるんですね。ありがとうございます。
Huh? You're letting me go back? Thank you.
聞いて。あなたがどれだけ帰りたいと望んでももう無理なのよ。
Listen to me. No matter how much you want to go back, it's impossible now.
無理。
Impossible?
だってあなたがいたあの場所、病院の地下にあったあの場所はもうなくなってしまったんだから。
Because the place you're in, that place under the hospital, it's gone now. Momose was relieved to finally see shock on Uki's face.
よかった。この子にはちゃんと普通の感情がある。
Good, she does have normal feelings. Like Kunosato had said, they hadn't done any operations on her that would destroy her ability to experience emotions.
この前ね、あなたがここへ来てからすぐに刑事、若いくせにくたびれた刑事いたでしょ。彼が例の病院へ行ってみたんですって。
Right after he came here, that detective, you know, the young one who looks tired all the time, said he went to that hospital. The girl simply listened to Momose speak, her eyes wide. Momose kept talking, watching her carefully.
それでね、解剖室から地下へ行ったそうよ。あなたのいた場所へね。
And he went to the autopsy room, was it? And then to the basement where you were?
でもね、そこには何もなかったって。あなたがいた部屋の中も空っぽだったそうよ。
He said that there was nothing there. The room you're in was empty.
そんな、じゃあ皆さんは、あそこにいた皆さんは。
But then where did everyone go? What about all the people there?
いなかったそうよ。誰も。
He said there was no one there. Do you think that was all a delusion? Like all those people weren't actually real? Like the moment... Well, there's no way, right? Because, again, delusions require more than one person to see something. And if she was the only one there, she wouldn't have been able to create delusional people around her. So, I don't know.
誰も
No one? Uki seemed to be trying her best to understand what Momose just said. And then,
嘘
you're lying.
嘘です
You're lying. You're lying.
そんな嘘ついて何になるの？本当のことよ。
Why would I lie? It's the truth.
だってそれじゃ私はどうすれば
But then what do I do?
私はどうすれば
What do I do? Tears started to silently fall from Uki's eyes.
Haha! どうしたタグル？新規臭い顔しやがって。
What's wrong, Talker? You look so glum.
顔は生まれつきだよ。
I was born looking this way.
はっ、なんだ。もう少し面白いこと言ったらどうなんだ。
Come on, can't you say something more fun? Dad was as jovial as ever. Without his lab coat, no one would ever believe he was a doctor.
どうだ？やっぱ自分の家が一番落ち着くだろう。
You know, glasses like that, he definitely looks like a doctor. And that hair? Okay, well, I bet it feels good to be back home again, right?
別にそうでも。
No, not really.
ま、一人暮らしを始めたばっかじゃ、まだそうは思えんか。でもな、いずれわかる時が来るもんだ。我が家が一番ってな。
Well, you've just started living on your own, so maybe you don't realize it yet, but eventually you'll come to know that home is where the heart is. In the end, I come back here to Alba Dorm, because Kurisuwa told me so at school.
狙われているのかもしれないんでしょ。今の場所に一人でいては危険よ。
Someone might be after you, right? It's dangerous to be by yourself.
ずっととは言わないわ。しばらくで構わない。事件が解決するまでうちで暮らしなさい。
It doesn't have to be forever. It can just be for a little while. Live at home until this is resolved. I wasn't her slave or anything, just like she said, it was dangerous to be by myself right now. Especially when we didn't know who the killer was, or what they were after. If someone was nearby, it'd be easier to get a hold of Shinjo-san and his allies if I needed to. I was probably never going to be able to tell this to Kurisu, but the feelings I'd felt when I left home were starting to disappear. I just seen Kurisu get hurt and then try to protect me. Even cry for my sake, despite being such a strong girl. I start to understand some things that I hadn't realized when I left.
なんだよ、クソ。
What the hell? Damn it. I realized what I was thinking and I shook my head. No way. It wasn't like Yuto, who could never seem to get away from his sister.
おい、何赤くなってんだよ。
Hey, why are you turning red?
なんでもない。
No reason.
とにかく、さっさと荷物置いてこい。お前の部屋は、のののやつがちゃんと掃除してくれてる。
Anyway, go put your stuff away. Nono's kept your room clean.
ああ。
Dad didn't get mad when I left or when I come back. Couldn't think of it, he'd only said one thing on the day that I'd left.
そうせざるを得なかったののの気持ちがわかるようになったら、戻ってこい。じゃあな。
Once you understand why Nono felt she had to do what she did, come back. See you later. Well, what did she do? Did she lie about something? What does Wataru know about it?
荷物置いてくる。
I'll go put my stuff away.
ねえ父さん、タクル兄が帰ってくるって。
Hey Dad, is it true that Big Bro's coming back? As I went to my room, Yui suddenly appeared. I can see Yuto behind her.
おう、タクルならもう帰ってきてんぞ。
Yep, he's back already. Yui's face almost broke into a broad smile as she saw me. She quickly forced herself to assume a strict expression.
何やってんの？
What are you doing?
お風呂とキッチンと廊下の掃除。タクル兄が当番の時、私とユウが代わりにやってたんだから。
You have to clean the bath, the kitchen, the hallway. Yui and I have been doing all your work for you while you've been away.
ああ、悪い。
Oh, sorry. I apologize without thinking.
これからしばらく私たちの当番、タクル兄が代わってよね。いい？
So you're going to do our jobs for a while now. Okay, got it?
おう。
Yeah.
タクル兄ちゃん、別にいいよ。僕気にしてないから。
Big bro, it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
ダメ。こういうことはきちんとしなきゃいけないんだから。親しき中にもって言うでしょ？
No, you need to be strict about this. Formality, even between friends, is a Japanese saying, right?
でもそんなこと言ったら、タクル兄ちゃんまたどこか行っちゃうよ。せっかく帰ってきたのに。
But if you tell him that, he'll go away again, and right after he just came back, too.
ダメなものはダメなの。
I said he has to, and that's that.
なあタクル、ユイのやつ、ノノに似てきたと思うか？
Haha, hey Takaru, don't you think that Yui's starting to turn to no-no?
うん。特に怒ってる顔が。
Yeah, especially when she's mad.
なんか言った？
Did you say something?
いえ、なんでもないです。ごめんなさい。
No, nothing, sorry. Yui put her hands on her hips and puffed up her flat chest to glare at me. She did look just like Kurusu when she did that.
もう父さんが甘やかすからタクル兄は勝手なことばっかり。
Big bro's only this selfish because you spoil him, Dad.
おっと、今度はこっちに飛び火か。
Whoop, now she's mad at me too.
で、タクル兄、もうどこにも行ったりしないんでしょうね。
So Big bro, you're not going anywhere again, are you?
いや、その。
No,
タクル兄がいなくなってどれだけのの姉が悲しんでたか分かってる？
You know how sad Big Sis has been since you left, right?
ユウだってすっごく寂しがってたんだから。
And Yui's missed you a lot too.
そっか。
Wait, you with two U's? So you're Yui, you're Yuto, so who's you again? Is that just him? I see.
私も。私は別に何でもなかったけど。
And no, it hasn't really bothered me. Suddenly the expression on her face changed.
何でもなかったけど。
It hasn't, but...
おい。
Hey.
ゆい
Stop that. I'm not good with this stuff. I can't handle it when people cry. It's nothing. Yui covered her face with her hands and ran into her room. Yuto followed quickly after her. Dad scratched his head and sighed a little as he saw them go.
ほら、さっさと荷物置いてこい、タクル。
Come on, put your things away, Takaru.
わかった。
Okay. I got away as quickly as I could. That scared me. I didn't expect you to start crying all of a sudden. I thought nothing would really change around here even if I left. But did they really want me here that much? If they did.
いや、でも。
No, but... As I sat there lost in thought, I was suddenly startled by a knock at the door.
誰だ?
Who is it?
タクル兄ちゃん。
Big bro.
ああ、ユウトか。
Oh, hey, Yuto.
そののの姉ちゃんが着替えたら降りてこいってご飯だって。
Big sis says to come down when you've changed.
ああ、サンキュー。
Right, thanks.
どうした?
Oh, what is it?
さ、ゆいお姉ちゃんのことだけど。
About Yui. Yuto crossed his hands over his stomach and fidgeted as he looked up at me.
お姉ちゃん、なんかいろいろ怒ってたけど、本当はずっとタクル兄ちゃんに帰ってきてほしいって言ってて、だから怒ってたのは本気じゃなくって。
She was mad about a lot of stuff, but she said she really wanted you to come home, so she wasn't really mad.
大丈夫。わかってるよ。
It's okay, I know.
本当?
Really?
ああ、だから先に降りててくれ。すぐに着替えていくから。
Yeah, so head on down, I'll get changed and come join you. Okay. Yuto looked a little relieved as he left the room.
ユウト、ちょっと背が伸びたな。
Yuto's gotten a little taller, huh? Yuto and you had come here at almost the exact same time as I had.
一緒に暮らし始めた頃はどうなるかと思ったけど。
I was worried about how it would go when we first started, but the Shibuya earthquake hadn't just taken their parents from them, it had caused them severe psychological trauma. During the earthquake, Yuto had been trapped in a dark place for a long time, all by himself. As a result, he was still terrified of darkness and being alone. That was why he still clung to his sister. And Yui, after that nightmarish incident she'd gone through after the earthquake, she'd become incredibly afraid of men. She doesn't seem afraid of men. She was even afraid of me at first. But over time, we started to open up to one another. When I'd left, they seemed to be doing a lot better. And now Yui had her act together even more. Yuto was still young, but he did seem a little more grown up than he had before. Even if the world didn't look like it had changed, time was still passing. But what about me? Had I changed?
はい、そろそろいいわよ。
Okay, it's ready.
それじゃあいただきます。
Alright, let's eat.
いただきます。
Let's eat.
おほー、すき焼きなんて久しぶりじゃねえか。
Oh, feels like it's been forever since we had sukiyaki.
何言ってるの。先月もやったじゃない。
What are you talking about? We had it last month.
あのなあ、あれは鶏肉だっただろう。牛肉じゃないとすき焼きとは言わねえんだ。
Listen, that was chicken. You can't call it sukiyaki unless you make it with beef.
そんな贅沢をする余裕うちにはありません。
I don't have the money to waste on that.
誰かさんが困ってる人から治療費なんか取れるかとか言っちゃうから。ま、別にいいんだけど。
It's a certain someone's fault for saying we can't take money to treat people when they're in trouble. Well, not that bothers me.
そういう言い方はねえだろう。もっと尊敬しろ、尊敬。
You don't have to put it like that. Show me some more respect.
はいはい。
Yeah, yeah.
ほらタクル、お椀貸しなさい。よそってあげるから。
Well, Takaru, give me your bowl. I'll give you some. Chris will reach her hand towards me.
いいよ。
I'm fine.
ダメ。あなた最近ちゃんと食事してなかったんでしょ。遠慮なんてしないの。
You're not fine. You haven't been eating rightly, have you? Just give me the bowl. Chris grabbed the bowl from me and heaped the beaten egg high with meat and vegetables.
はい。ちゃんと食べるのよ。
Make sure you eat here. Make sure you eat all of it.
ああ、
タクルにこっちにもお肉あるから。はい。
Big bro, there's some meat here. Take it.
もういいって。
I've got enough, really.
何？のの姉のお肉は食べられても私のは食べられないっていうわけ？
What? You'll eat Big Sis's meat, but not mine?
お前酔っ払いのおっさんかよ。
Are you pretending to be a drunk old man or something?
おい、ちょっと待てお前ら。もう肉ないじゃねえか。
Hey, wait, guys, the meat's all gone.
こういうのは早い者勝ちだっていつも父さん言ってるじゃん。
It's first come, first serve. That's what you always say.
言ってるじゃん。
You do always say that.
だからもうちょっと尊敬をだな。
I just said you should show me some more respect. Everyone was seated around a single pot eating dinner. I thought that the only point of dinner was to eat until you were full, but
タクル、ユウト、お肉のおかわりまだ冷蔵庫にあるからね。たくさん食べて。
Taku, Yuto, there's more meat in the fridge. Have some.
おいこら。
父さんは少し痩せないとダメでしょ。野菜食べなさい、野菜。
You need to lose some weight, Dad. Eat your vegetables.
俺はお前をそんな娘に育てた覚えはないんだがな。
You know, I don't remember raising you to be like that.
覚えがなくても育っちゃったんだから諦めて。
Even if you don't remember it, you did, so give up. Part of me enjoyed sitting around the table and listening to everyone talk. Uh-oh. No, that wasn't true. I definitely wasn't homesick. Maybe it was just that having someone near me made me feel better. Maybe it was having Caruso offer to help me when I'd been in trouble on my own. But it definitely wasn't that. I was happy to come home. Or happy to be home, or glad to have come back to where I belong.
タクルにってば。
Big bro.
あ、何？
Huh? What is it?
お茶いるの？いらないの？さっきから聞いてるのに全然答えてくれないんだもん。
Do you want some tea or not? I'd been asking and you keep ignoring me.
ああ、ごめん。
Oh, sorry.
そいつのことだ。どうせまた難しいへりくつでもこねくり回してたんだろう。
Haha, you know him. He's probably thinking about something overly complicated.
へりくつってなんだよ。僕はいつも理路整然と正しい思考を。
What do you mean overly complicated? I never overcomplicate things.
はい、ストップ。そんなこといいからお茶は？
Okay, stop. No one cares. Do you want some tea?
ああ、できればマウンテンビューを。
I'd rather have some mountain view.
うちには置いてません。
I don't have any here.
ユウトったらどうしたの？ニコニコして。
Huh? Yuto, what is it? Why are you smiling?
うん。やっぱりみんな揃ってた方が楽しいなって。のの姉ちゃんだってすっごく嬉しそうだよ。
It's just more fun having everyone else here. You look really happy too, big sis.
そうそうね。そうかもね。
Do I? Yeah, maybe I do. This is ruining his focus on his goal. He wants to find out what happened to his parents, but he keeps being pulled back into this family, even when he tried to distance himself. A D-sword at this time. It didn't work. I'd gotten a lot better at seeing my D-sword, but I still didn't know how to take hold of it. I'd asked Armor for help, but her answers weren't really helpful. Unlike with my psychokinesis, all I need to do is draw my D-sword from the Dirac Sea. I should have been able to do it without needing so nearby. But when I was by myself, it was just an illusion. Unless I real-booted it, I wouldn't be able to use it to attack or defend. If I want to use a weapon, I need to share the illusion with someone else, just like with my other power. At least that's what Armora had said. But before that, I need to be able to take hold of it.
くそ、 もう一回。
Damn it, one more time. I guess he needs to go through trauma again before he can pull it.
ここから腕を伸ばして剣のイメージを固定化って。あ、くそ。
Reach out your arm, fix the image of the sword in your mind. Damn it. Whenever I tried to get close to my D-sword, it moved away from me like a mirage. If I just flailed my arms at it, I couldn't reach it.
手がつる。
My hand's starting to go numb.
タクル入るわよ。
Takaru, I'm coming in.
あ、
Oh, wait. I had my hand stretched out like a TV hero in the middle of his transformation. Crusoe was staring at me, her eyes wide.
違うんだ。ユートに新しいヒーローの変身ポーズをだな。
No, it's not what it looks like. I'm teaching Yuto a new transformation pose.
ユウトはもう卒業したわよ、そういうの。
Yuto says he's too old for that stuff now.
ああ、そうだっけ。
Huh? He does? Crusoe put her hand on her cheeks and sighed.
もし自分が本物のヒーローになれると思ってるなら、やめておきなさい。
If you're planning on becoming a real hero on your own, give it up, okay?
そんなこと思ってないよ。僕いくつだと。
I'm not. How old do you think I am?
いくつになっても子供なんだから、タクルは。
No matter how old you get, you always act like a kid. And then she stared into my eyes. I could tell that she wasn't blaming me and that she was genuinely concerned.
タクル、ちょっとそこに座って。
Tucker, sit down over there, okay?
いや、これから風呂に入ろうかなと。
No, I'm just about to take a bath.
いいから座りましょうね。
Just sit down, alright?
はい。
Oh, okay. I sat down on the bed as I was told.
タクル、
Caruso took a step towards the bed and looked down over at me. Humans are strange creatures. Whenever someone looks down on us, they seem bigger and more powerful. I quickly stood up and looked down over her instead. When I first met her, she was almost at eye level with me, but now...
これは別にやましいことをするための訓練じゃない。
I'm not training to try and do something bad.
能力のせいで狙われているのに、そうやってむやみに使おうとするのは。
Someone's after you because of your powers. You keep trying to use them like that.
逆だよ。もっとちゃんと使えるようになれば自分の身も守れるし、もしもの時は新聞部や青葉寮のみんなのことだって助けられる。
It's the other way around. If I can learn to master them, I can protect myself, and I can protect everyone in the New Spirit Club or here at Alba Dorm.
だから、そういうのは警察の仕事でしょ。
But that's the police's job, right?
今回の事件、いざって時に警察に何かできるとは思えない。
I don't think the police are going to be able to save us if we need it.
けど、
Still,
クルスこそよく口にするじゃないか。僕らのことを守るとかなんとか。でも能力者が襲ってきたらどうするつもりなんだ？
what about you, Caruso? You always say you're going to protect us. What are you going to do if a psychic attacks?
それは。
That's...
ほら見ろ。やっぱり僕が能力を磨くしかないんだよ。
See? So I've got no choice but to learn how to use my powers. Caruso stared down at her feet silently. Then she raised her head and looked me in the eye.
ねえタクル、私はあなたのことをずっと見てきたわ。だからわかるの。あなたがこの先何を考えるか。
Listen, Tucker, I've known you for a long time, so I can tell what you're going to start thinking.
この先？
What I'm going to start thinking?
タクルはね、必ず自分を危険にさらすようなことをする。例えば、自分の力で犯人を捕まえてやろうとか。
You're going to put yourself in danger. You'll probably try and use your power to catch the killer. I gulped. Don't tell me. Please don't tell me Karusu. It'd be really... I don't even know how they would do it, but I really hope Karusu isn't the new gen killer. It's like, I want to protect my family, and I'm going to destroy... I don't know. Fuck, that doesn't even make any sense. I gulped. I hadn't really thought about it yet, but knowing me, I'd probably, definitely think that.
なんだよ。能力者でもないくせに予知か。
What? You're not a psychic, so how do you know the future? What if she is a psychic, and that's her power?
いつも言ってるでしょ。能力なんかなくてもね、タクルの行動は簡単に読めちゃうって。
I just know you really well. Even without any psychic powers, I can tell you exactly what you're going to do.
とにかくお願い。自分の身を守ることだけ考えて。ね、タクル。
Anyway, please, just focus on protecting yourself. Okay, Takaru?
お願い。
Please.
ああ。
Okay.
じゃあ、約束の指切りね。
Okay, then pinky swear. Pinky swear? Like we're little kids? No way, that's embarrassing.
嘘ついたら針を1000本飲ますどころじゃ済まさないから。
If you lie, then you're going to get a lot worse than having to stick a needle in your eye. And that's really scary. Then the heavens intervened to save me, and a phone rang out like Galahorn. A horn held by the god who guards the bridge of gods in Norse mythology. Its bellow said to herald the arrival of Ragnarok. I forget who the guy who guards the bridge in Norse mythology. Isn't he like the... Didn't Idris Elba act as him? Fuck, I forgot his name. Did she just get a call from fucking Minamisawa Senri? I hadn't gotten a new one yet, so of course it was Karusu's.
出なくていいのか。
Damn, when are you gonna get a new phone? It's been a while. The next new gen murder is about to come up. Yet you're not gonna answer it?
今はあなたと話をしているところでしょ。
I'm talking to you right now.
でも事件に関係あることかもしれないし。
But it might have something to do with the case. She must have thought I might be right because she took out the phone and looked at the screen. Ooh, she shouldn't have done that because now... Why would she get a phone call that has something to do with the case? And then she looked concerned.
新庄さんだわ。
It's Shinjo-san. I've only said it to distract her, but evidently the call really did have something to do with the case. She quickly hit the answer button and put the phone up to her ear. I watched her nervously.
もしもし、クルスです。はい。はい。ええ。
Moshi Moshi, this is Kurisu. Yes, yes, yeah. On the other side of the phone, I could hear a note of concern in Shinjo-san's voice. I couldn't tell for sure, but he seemed to be saying that someone had gone missing.
いいえ、来てません。だいたいこの家を知らないはずですし。え？タクルが？
No, she hasn't. She shouldn't even know where this place is to begin with, huh, Takaru? Who shouldn't know where this place is to begin with? The fire girl? Minamisawa Senri? Uh-oh. Who could she be talking about? What? What did I do? Carissa moved the phone away from her ear and turned towards me.
山添さんって子知ってるわよね。
You know that Yamazoe-san girl, right?
ああ、例の病院の地下室から助け出した子だよ。
Huh? Yeah, she was the girl we rescued from the hospital basement.
その子がね、行方不明なんですって。
He says she's gone missing. Huh. That's weird. What would Moma say? Huh.
Eh?
What? She went missing?
タクルが連れ出したりしてないかって。
He wanted to know if you'd taken her. Is that really what came over the phone? Because you said on the phone that she shouldn't even know where this place is. How would that... Maybe Shinjo asked, did she head over to your place? And then Caruso responded, she shouldn't even know where this place is. I guess that would make sense. He wants to know if you'd taken her.
そんなわけないだろ。今日はクルスたちとずっと一緒だったじゃないか。
Of course not. I've been with you the whole day.
そうよね。
That's right, yeah.
ちょっと貸してくれ。新庄さんと話したい。
Give me the phone. I want to talk to Shinjo-san. I reach my hand towards the phone, but she pulls it back. Shinjo-san had given me the location of an office in a multi-purpose building in Sakuragaokacho? There are rows of desks stacked high with paper that I normally would have considered a cornucopia of information. But I didn't have time to worry about them now. I rushed up to Shinjo-san as soon as I saw him.
あの子がいなくなったって誘拐されたんですか？警察がついててどうして？
She's gone. Was she kidnapped? How could that happen with the police here?
いや、電話でも言ったけど、そうじゃなくて。
No, like I said on the phone, that's not it.
でも彼女がいなくなったのは事実ですよね。
It's true that she's missing, right?
ちょっとタクル、やめてどうしたの？
She's still in her PJs? Tucker, stop it. What's gone into you?
悪い。
Oh, yeah, sorry. Because that girl was probably their key to finding more about the case, and now she's just not there. So, they're almost like back at square one. Kamizoe Uki had reminded me a little too much of Mina Misawa Senri, and I'd lost control of myself. Caruso quickly moved to stop me. By the way, Caruso had come to keep an eye on me, and in her words, to make sure I didn't do anything stupid.
とにかく誘拐とかそういうんじゃないんだ。いきなり姿が見えなくなってしまって。
Anyway, it wasn't kidnapping, she just suddenly disappeared.
だからそれが誘拐されたってことじゃん。
Does that mean she was kidnapped? Nope. I guess she just teleported?
それはないわ。だってこの部屋には私と新庄ちゃん、それにミオちゃんの3人が一緒にいたんだもの。
It can't be. Shinjo-chan, Mio-chan, and I were all here at the same time. So, does she have the ability to teleport herself, but also other things? No! Someone else has the ability to teleport them. Momose, the CEO of Frisia, had been looking confused and concerned ever since I'd arrived. When I first met her with the night we snuck into H Tokyo General Hospital, she seemed like a loud, boisterous sort of woman. Now she seemed kind of tired.
彼女をソファーに座らせて、俺たちはこっちで話をしてたんだよ。で、ふとソファーを見たら、彼女がいなくなっていた。
We sat her on the sofa while the rest of us talked over here, then we looked over at the sofa only to find that she was gone. I wonder if it's teleportation, or if someone has the ability to make them go invisible somehow. I think teleportation probably makes more sense, but whatever.
トイレとかじゃないんですか？
Are you sure she didn't just go to the bathroom? Kursa pointed at the toilets in the back. But Shinjo put his hand on his forehead, thinking, and said,
真っ先に探したよ。でもどこにもいなくてね。それどころか窓やドアすら開けた形跡がない。
That was the first place we looked, but she's nowhere to be found. In fact, there's no sign that she even opened the doors or windows.
考えられることは一つだ。彼女はギガロマニアックスだからな。能力を使って自分で出て行ったんだろう。
There's only one possibility. She's a gigalomaniac, so she used her power to escape. Thing is it really her power? Or is it someone else's power? Is it a team of gigalomaniacs cooperating to commit crimes together? Like maybe there's one, I don't know, one person teleports, other person sets up stickers, one person shoots fireballs. I don't fucking And I guess they formed, I don't know,
能力
her power? I'm trying to think of it. I saw him ask. What power did Yamazoe Uki have?
テレポーテーションとかそういう
Teleportation or something like that? I saw to whispered an answer, her voice full of hate, without even bothering to look back at me.
よくわからない。
I don't know.
わからないって
You don't know?
ああ、彼女、俺たちの質問にほとんど応じる様子がなくてね。能力に関しては、久野里さんが探ろうとしたんだが、無駄だった。
Yeah, she barely answered any of our questions. Kunosato-san tried to ask her about her power, but didn't get anywhere.
そもそも瞬間移動だとすれば、とうの昔にここを抜け出していたはずだ。だが、あいつはそうしなかった。
If it's teleportation, she would have left a long time ago, but she didn't. You know, that is a fair deduction.
ただ、ウキ君は少し特殊なようだ。今回はそれにやられたらしい。
Uki-kun is a little special, and that's what got us.
特殊
Special?
私ね、少し前から考えていたのよ。ウキちゃんを一度どこかの児童養護施設に預けた方がいいかもしれないって。
I've been thinking that maybe we should turn her over to an orphanage.
それでさっき新庄ちゃんとミオちゃんに提案したら快く OK をもらって。
I was just talking with Shinjo-chan and Mio-chan about that, and they both gladly agreed.
俺は OK なんか出してませんよ。
I didn't agree.
私もです。
Neither did I.
ちょっと黙っててちょうだい。こんがらがっちゃうから。
Be quiet, you're making things more complicated than they need to be. And in fact, it was you who made things more complicated than they needed to be.
とにかく OK をもらったの。それで私はウキちゃんを連れて駐車場に降りて車に乗せようとしたわけ。知り合いの施設に相談してみようって。
So anyway, they agreed, and I took Uki-chan down to the parking lot and tried to get her in the car. I know someone who runs a facility like that, and I wanted to visit them.
じゃあ彼女を連れ出したのは百瀬さんじゃないですか。
Then you're the one who took her away. So why was everyone so upset that she disappeared? Momose-san had taken her outside. There was no mystery there. As Kurusu and I stood there with our mouths hanging open, Shinjo-san interrupted.
という夢を見たんだそうだ。
At least that's how it went in her dream.
は？夢？
Her dream?
違うわ。あれは絶対にあったことよ。だってウキちゃんの手の感触とか車のエンジンをかけた感覚とか全部リアルに残ってるもの。
No, it really happened. I can remember the sensation of her hand and the rumble in the car when the engine started. It was all real. She like a dream walker? She can... How's that work?
But ウキ君を自動車に乗せようとした途端、我に返ったんですよね。そしたら百瀬さんは事務所の中にいて、俺たちと話をしている最中だった。
But the moment you try to get Uki-kun in your car, you came back to reality, right? And then you're in your office talking with us.
ええ、そうなの。
Yes, that's right.
俺たちは児童養護施設の話なんて提案されてないし、ウキ君と百瀬さんがここから出ていくのも見ていません。百瀬さんとはここでずっと話をしていただけです。間違いありません。
We never spoke about any kind of orphanage, and we never saw you leave. You were talking here the whole time, I'm sure of it.
なのに、ウキ君は部屋からいきなり消えた。
But Uki-kun disappeared from the room suddenly.
どういうことですか？よくわかりません。
What do you mean? I don't understand.
多分それが山添由紀の能力なんだろう。彼女を捕獲したら改めて調べてみよう。
I think that's her power. Once we capture her, I'll look into it again. Kunosata's use of the word capture pissed me off. I could tell that Armora said she didn't even think of us as humans. But she didn't have to talk about that way about a little girl, did she? Even if she didn't like psychics, did she have to go that far? I glared at her, but Kunosata-san didn't seem bothered in the slightest.
ウキ君の行き先ですけど、宮代君たちが知らないとなると、あとはあそこしか考えられないですね。
As for where she went, if you two don't know, there's only one possibility.
私も今そう思ってたところ。
I was just thinking the same thing. What, an orphanage?
もしそうだとすれば少しばかり骨が折れるな。
Which means that life's about to get a little tough. They're gonna raid Shibuya 107?
どこなんですかそれ。
What do you mean? Shinjo-san answered me with a bitter sigh.
君もよく知ってるところだよ。あの子の元の家だ。
A place you know well, her old home. Oh, because he was an earthquake orphan, right? So he probably came from...
まさかそんな。
So he probably came from some kind of orphanage. What, you can't mean...
ウキちゃんたらね、あそこへ返してくれの一点張りだったのよ。
No, Uki-chan kept insisting she had to go home, you know.
あんな地獄みたいな場所に一体なんで。
That place was hell, why would she?
さてな、とにかく厄介なことになる前に取り戻さないとな。
They're not talking about the basement, right? I wouldn't know. Anyway, we need to get her back before things turn into even more of a mess. Yes, they were.
ねえタクル。
I just think it's a little weird that they would refer to the basement as some place that Takaru knows very well, because he doesn't really. He visited it like twice, once in his childhood, and then once this time for like brief moments. It's not really... Takaru, hey Takaru.
し、見つかったらどうするんだよ。
Shh, what if they catch us? An hour had passed since we first spoken to Momose-san at Frisia. Kursu and I were hiding behind some plants near Age Tokyo General Hospital.
新庄さんたちに任せないとダメよ。私たちみたいな素人が出しゃばったりしたら。
You have to let them handle this. If amateurs like us screw this up.
それじゃダメなんだ。山添ウキって子は僕が見つけて青葉寮へ連れて帰る。
I mean, can we really call like Takaru an amateur? I mean, yeah, he might be an amateur in the sense that he doesn't fully know what's going on in this big conspiracy world, but he's also like kind of good at sneaking into places. And even besides the newspaper club thing, his power too. He can unlock doors. That sounds mega useful. And he was fine the first time he raided the facility with Mio. Ito's not here anymore, so That's not happening. I'm finding Yamazo Uki and taking her back to Alba dorm. Alba?
どうして
Well, why Alba? Why? Why?
彼女今の久野里さんには渡せない。
I'm not letting Kunosata-san have her. I was gritting my teeth hard in anger.
タクル
Afterward, Shinjo-san, Momose-san, and Kunosata-san had started to come up with a plan to get inside the basement of the hospital. Of course, they weren't going to let us come along. We were told to go home. At first, that was my plan. But then things changed. Kunosata-san had said she wasn't going to send Yamazawa Uki to an orphanage, but to a research center she was affiliated with. Huh. That would be pretty bad. She said that they were going to research her power there, how Kunosato-san had treated not only Armor and I, but also a little Yuki as nothing more than guinea pigs. And then I'd heard her use the word capture many times.
あの子は苦しい実験から解放されてやっと地下から出られたっていうのに。
She's finally free from this terrible experiments out of that awful basement. Was Kunosato-san just going to send her right back to the same old life she'd experienced before? Just imagining it terrified me and made me come to a decision. I'll save her.
もしここであの子を見放したらまた同じことの繰り返しだ。またこの場所で誰かを見捨てることになってしまう。
If I abandon her here, I'll be doing the exact same thing I did before. I'd be abandoning someone again in the same exact place.
昔僕はクルスの親友だった南沢千里を見捨てて逃げた。それを今でも後悔してる。
A long time ago, I abandoned your friend Minamisawa Senri here and I ran away. I still regret that to this day.
あの山添って子も実験の犠牲者だ。だから今度こそ僕は助けたい。
That Yamazoe girl's another victim of those experiments, and this time I want to save her.
そんなことくらいで南沢千里が許してくれるとは思わないけど、でも助けたいんだ。
I don't think that'll be enough to get Minamisawa Senri to forgive me, but I want to do it anyway. Kursa's voice sounded choked up. She must have been remembering what happened to her best friend.
タクルあのね
Takaru, listen to me.
本当は千里は
Senri actually, what, forgives you?
彼女のこと何か知ってるのか？
You know something about her? Let me guess, they're gonna get cut off. They're gonna get called for before she can fully say anything.
おい、クルス。
Tell me, Kursu.
ごめんなさい、気が動転してしまって。千里はね、渋谷地震で死んだの。あなたのせいじゃないわ、絶対に違う。
I'm sorry, I'm just having a hard time thinking straight. Senri died in the earthquake. It's not your fault, I swear it. Or so people think. She just went missing, untraceable.
クルス。
だからタクルが責任を感じ続ける必要なんてないの。忘れていいのよね。
So you don't need to blame yourself. You can just forget about that, okay? I mean, it's still... there was still life between the experiments and the earthquake that were probably made hell, but again, I don't think Takaru should blame himself too much. He was a kid, he couldn't have done much. And this is like a conspiracy organization, even an adult wouldn't be able to do much. Krista looked down at her feet. She did, her hair covered her eyes, and I couldn't tell what she was thinking.
今クルスは何を言いかけて何を言いやめたんだろう。
Was Krista about to say something, then stopped herself? Just as I was about to ask, I heard soft footsteps.
来た。
They're here. Momose-san's van was in the same alley where she picked us up before. They've been watching the hospital for a while now. I saw two shadows that probably belonged to Shinjo-san and Kunosato-san leave the van and run onto the grounds.
クルス、向こうが動いた。大丈夫か？行けるか？
Kurisu, they're on the move. Can you do this? Let me guess, the layout is going to be completely different. The basement. It's gonna be like heavily guarded with gigglomaniacs. Crucial, they're on the move. Oh, yeah, I read that. Huh? Yeah. I tapped her on the shoulder and she looked up. And I was reminded of why they called her the Empress of Hekiho Academy. There's no trace of the sadness that had been there a moment ago.
ごめんね。ちょっと千里を思い出しちゃって。でももう平気よ。
Sorry, I was just remembering Senri, but I'm okay now.
本当はここで待っててもらいたいんだけど。
Honestly, I'd rather be right here. But I couldn't reel boot on my own. I needed a partner no matter what.
何言ってるの。あなたのことを心配しながら待ってるなんて、こっちからお断りよ。
What are you talking about? I'm not going to sit out here alone and be worried about you.
だと思った。
I thought you'd say that. We followed Shinjo-san and Kunosata-san from a distance. A moment later, they had pressed themselves up against the wall near the rear emergency entrance. Even from a distance, I could tell it was more heavily secured than before. The lock seemed to be a newer and sturdier model, but Shinjo-san must have already had the key because he took something out of his pocket and started to put it in the lock.
あそこから入るつもりだな。
They're planning on getting in from here, huh? Getting in from there, huh? There's no security cameras? I guess it would be dark, so... But I'm sure there were some cameras that work in darkness. Alright then. I quickly created an image in my mind. I looked at the key-like object he was holding, and envisioned it flying away.
やっぱりもっと訓練しとくんだった。
Damn it, I should have trained more. The more I started to panic, the more I lost focus. I couldn't make the delusion clear in my mind.
くそ。
Damn it.
落ち着け。大丈夫だ。落ち着け。
Calm down, you're fine. Calm down.
よし、見えたな。
Okay, got it. You can see my D-sword floating in front of me.
クルス、ちょっと脳を使わせてもらうな。
Kurusu, I'm gonna use your brain for a little bit.
どうぞ。っていうのもなんか変だけど。
Go ahead, though. I guess that's a weird thing to say. I imagine the delusion I come up with going inside Kurusu, Shinjo-san, and Kunosata-san's mind. Kurusu gasped a little. She must have felt something. The delusion was shared between us, and instantly the real boot was complete. Clang. The metallic object in Shinjo-san's hand rolled away and hit the ground with a clang. Then I heard the two of them gasp. The key rolled along the ground in a very unnatural way until it rolled down a metal sewer grate, just like I'd imagined.
よし。
バカ、隠れてたくる。
Don't be stupid. Hi, Takaru. Just as I was about to make a victory pose, Kurusu grabbed my hand and pulled me back. Then she dragged me down onto the ground. Well, now they definitely know it was you, because you have telepathy.
悪い。
調子に乗らないの。これだから私がついてないとダメなのよ。
Don't get cocky. This is why you need me with you. Her hand was shaking a little. She was probably still scared of my power, no matter how many times she saw it. That was how most people would react. I hesitated for a moment, then gripped her hand in return, then I let it go and looked over at Shinjo-san and Kunosata-san. The two of them whispered to each other, and then silently headed back towards the van.
今だ。
Now. We crouched low as we headed for the emergency entrance. When we reached the door, I turned around towards Kurusu. She caught up a moment later, but her breathing was still a little heavy.
すまない。ちょっと早かった。
Sorry, I went a little fast.
こっちこそごめん。もっと運動が得意ならよかったんだけど。鍵開けられるの？
No, I'm sorry. I wish I was more athletic. Can you open the door?
多分。クルス、もう一回。いや、何回かやるよ。悪いけど。
I think so, Kurusu. I'm going to do it once more. No, probably a few times. Sorry.
構わないわ。そのために来てるんだから。
Don't worry about it. That's why I'm here. I stared at the door. The lock was stronger than before, probably because of the time we'd broken in. I imagine the locks flipping, the door opening. Do you even know how the lock works? There was a heavy click and the door opened like I had imagined. This place is still open? They didn't, like, close it? And then you have to put in a password? Thanks to my power, we were able to make it inside with no trouble. I remembered the route to the room where we found Yamazeo Uki, so we headed there. But as we walked through the darkness, I saw that Kurusu was acting a little strange. Oh, is it her wound?
大丈夫か
Are you okay?
実はちょっと閉所恐怖症がね。でも平気。気にしないで。
Yeah, I'm just a little claustrophobic actually, but I'm fine, don't worry about me.
平気ってすごい汗だぞ。
Fine, you're sweating really badly. Then I realized something.
まさか傷が痛むのか
Is your injury bothering her? Well, I just heard a baby. Did I hear a baby? She seemed like she was okay, but it had been a really bad injury. Couldn't have fully healed up by now.
おいクルス
Are you okay?
平気だから。ほら、急ぎましょう。
Fine, let's hurry, okay? What was the whole thing about, like, the monster behind them attacking them? Like, what triggered that? Who put that? Was that? Oh! Is that Kuno Sato's power? Can she turn herself into a big fucking monster and just, like, crush people? Fine, let's hurry, okay? Yeah. Oh! Remember? Do you remember when, Takaru said, can't turn around because if you turn around, it'll kill you. He was so right about that, because if you turn around, the creature would have real booted. So the only thing he could have done is not look at it. She pushed me onward before I could stop.
もうちょっとだ。あと少しで例の部屋だから我慢してくれ。
It's confirmed that Onoe and Ito aren't psychics, so that delusion had to have come from Mio herself. Oh my god! And it had the sumo mask on! Dog! They just spoiled the entire game! Kunosato Mio is the new gen killer! Oh my god. We're almost there. It's not that much farther to the room, so hang in there. Yeah. That's right. It was around this corner. Is this a roaming... Suddenly we heard a voice sobbing in the darkness. Cruz and I almost leapt into each other's arms. Is this Yamazoe crying that everyone's gone? It was the voice of a little girl.
タクル、この声。
Takaru, is this... Was it a ghost? No, that was dumb. Which meant it had to be. Kurusu and I nodded and stepped forward in the direction of the room. Just like Shinjo-san had said, the room was completely empty. Did Kuno Sato go in and just fucking massacre everyone? Is that why it's all gone? Oh, do you think that... Okay, Kuno Sato Mio is the new gen killer. She wants to destroy every Gigalomaniac. and she wants to keep Yamazoe alive so that she can interrogate her and find the location of other Gigalomaniacs. But why the fuck does Kunosato Mio hate Gigalomaniacs so much, despite being one herself? That is the question. The beds and the patients that have been confined there were all gone. It was just an empty room now. And standing in the middle of the empty room was a sobbing Yamazoe Uki. Because I remember a line where Mio said that she wanted to find the new gen killer and like eliminate their ilk or whatever. So maybe the new gen killer, and I assume ilk refers to other Gigalomaniacs. So maybe the new gen killer killed other Gigalomaniacs in order to prevent Mio from capturing and interrogating them. But if that were the case, there wouldn't be time to wait until the dates aligned with the previous new gen, so that theory wouldn't exactly work. It's confusing. Anyways. And standing in the middle of the empty room was a sobbing Yamazoe Uki. How long had she been there? She was crying like a child who lost their mother. Nobody's here. There's nobody here. Someone answer me. Kurusu couldn't bear to watch. She ran over and gave the girl a big hug. Kurusu started crying not long after, too.
今までよく頑張ったね。でももういいの。だからお家へ帰ろう。ね。
You poor thing. You've had to be strong, so strong for so long, but it's okay now. You're safe. Let's go home now, okay? Yamazoe must not have heard because she just stood there crying silently for a long, long time. The whole time there was nothing I could do but watch.
大丈夫？変わりましょうか、タクル。
You okay? Want me to take over for you, Takaru?
いいよ。もう目の前だから。
I'm fine. We're almost there. I think they're gonna get jumped by fucking Momose and Shinjo and Mio. They know it was Takaru who did that. When I finally made it back to Alba Dorm, I took Yamazoe Uki off my back and put her on the sofa. That's a long distance to go carrying someone on your back. That's actually really tough. And then I'd lie down on the flat floor with my arms and legs stretched out. I hate to say it, but this is pathetic. She wasn't even that heavy, I was just out of shape.
だから変わるって言ったのに。
I told you I could take over.
運動音痴に任せたら落っことすかもしれないだろ。
If I let you do it, you're so clumsy, you might have dropped her.
失礼ね。そこまで言われるほどひどくないわ。それにタクルよりマシだと思うんですけど。
How rude. I'm not that bad, and I think I'm in better shape than you are, Takaru. Kursu's eyes were red-rimmed. Her face was red from where she tried to rub away the tears. She must have been embarrassed by it because she turned away from me and said something mean.
はいはい、わかったよ。その子のことは父さんに。
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we gotta tell Dad about this.
あ、うん、そうね。
Oh yeah, you're right. After Kurusu left to get him, I lifted my tired body off the floor and onto the sofa. As I expected, Yamazoe hated the idea of leaving the basement. After Kurusu's fervent attempts at persuasion and my own insistence that nobody's coming back to the basement, she finally clung to Kurusu and started to break down. As I carried her on my back, she'd gotten tired and fallen asleep. Where's her family, her real home? What about her school? I hadn't had a chance to look the first time we got into the basement, and that data is probably long gone by now.
父さん、今上がってくるって。
Dad says he's coming up. Okay. Kurusu sat next to Yamazoe on the sofa and softly stroked her hair.
この子、捜索願いとか出てないのかしら。
I wonder if there's a missing person report for her.
新庄さんの話だと今のところ該当するデータはないって。
Shinjo-san said he couldn't find any data on her.
そう。
I see.
やっぱり渋谷地震のせいかもしれないな。
Might be because of the Shibuya earthquake. After the earthquake, more data on missing persons and casualties had gone missing than you could imagine. And to top that off, this year had been the largest solar storm in history. Had seen the largest solar storm in history affect all kinds of electronic devices. Shibuya hadn't been hit that hard, but a lot of data in other regions had been lost.
分かってるのは名前だけか。せめて手がかりでも持っていればいいんだけど。
Ooh, do you think this has to do with barrier theory? Maybe what happened was gigalomaniacs used their delusions to protect Shibuya from the solar storm, and then CERN is mad about that, so they wanted to kill off the gigalomaniacs so that they would finally get hit by the solar storm. All we know is her name, huh? If only we had some kind of clue.
ののね、タクル兄
Big sis, big bro.
何かあったの？
Something wrong? The door opened, you and Yuto peeked inside.
え？
Two of them froze next to the door.
まだ寝てなかったの、二人とも。
You two are still awake?
寝ようと思ってたらのの姉たちの声が聞こえたから。
We're trying to sleep and heard you talking.
大丈夫？また喧嘩とかしてない？
Is everything okay? You're not fighting again, are you? Chris and I looked at each other without thinking.
大丈夫よ。私たち喧嘩なんてしてないから。
We're fine, we're not fighting.
本当？だったらいいんだけど。
Really? I hope so, but... Suddenly Yui stopped. She saw the girl sleeping on the sofa and her eyes went wide. I thought that she was just surprised to see a strange girl sleeping on the sofa, but...
ウキちゃん？
What? Oh, did they meet in the same orphanage? She said something we never expected.
どうしてウキちゃんがここに？
What's Uki-chan doing here?
ゆい、知ってるの？この子のこと。
Yui, you know her?
うん、多分。あ、でも待って、そんなはず。
Yeah, I think so. But wait, that doesn't make sense. Yui walked over to the sofa and sat down next to Kurusu. Then she stared at Yamazoe Uki.
ごめん、私の勘違いかも。
Sorry, I think I was wrong.
いや、勘違いじゃない。確かにこの子はウキって名前で。
No, you're right. This girl's name's Uki.
だっておかしいよ。昔のままの姿なんて、そんなの絶対に変。
But that doesn't make any sense. How could she look exactly the same as she used to? Is she a delusional construct? Was she frozen in ice? Like cryo whatever?
昔のままって
As she used to?
ウキちゃん、私のクラスメートだったんだよ。小学校2年の時の。
Uki-chan was in my class when I was in 2nd grade. And we're gonna end it there. Thanks for watching.